So wait a minute. I just want to clarify. You are 100% certain that there are 1,000 plus Al-Qaeda trained fighters within the United States borders.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing the Line. Today we're going to be looking at this breaking story over in the US. Several terrorist attacks seem to have broken out across the country. One in Las Vegas in front of a Trump-owned building or hotel, and this ram raid attack on pedestrians in Bourbon Street in New Orleans. These two events seem to be linked, and it's very fresh. It's about 6 hours old, so there's still a lot of information coming out about it. So if anything's misreported, not reported here, then, you know, we're just going to leave more time for that information to come out. Now, I will say that this was predicted several months ago, if not longer. We have been warned about this. The Americans definitely were warned about this happening, and several people, high-profile people on Twitter and online, have been predicting this and warning about it for a long time. And this, you know, you can't really prepare for these kind of attacks because they're so lone wolf and spread out unless the FBI really knows who they are and what they're planning, which a lot of the times they do, unfortunately, and they just seem to let it happen, whether they let it happen or whether they just, you know, don't have enough to go off. But it seems this case here, especially the one in the Bourbon Street, where up now 15 people have been killed in this attack, and the perpetrator also has been shot dead. Also, the other the attack on a Trump Tower building in Las Vegas, one person was killed there, and it seems to be just the person who set off the explosive. And a lot of people online, a lot of leftists and liberals seem to be, or even some right-wing people seem to be celebrating this attack on the Trump building because it was a Tesla. It was obvious, you know, it was obviously to make a point using a Tesla Cybertruck to blow up a Trump building, or try to blow up a Trump building. It's obviously there to make a point, and a lot of people seem to be celebrating that fact and gloating about it happening. I mean, one person lost their life there, and obviously that wasn't that much of a tragedy because it was the person trying to hurt other people. But, you know, gloating about a terrorist attack, whether they knew at the time of their tweets or remarks, remains to be seen. But a lot of these people still haven't taken down those tweets, and they are well aware by now that this was a terrorist attack, and these two incidents very well could be linked. We'll get into that today, but thanks for watching, and let's get into this first story from the AP. Driver rams New Year's revelers in a New Orleans attack, killing 15. FBI doesn't believe he acted alone. Now, that's going to be very, very interesting to find out. It seems there was reports of two other men and a woman planting some of these IEDs or pipe bombs, but I haven't seen that really corroborated in a lot of places. I mean, as we can tell, it's still early at the time of filming this. It's about 8 hours old that this has happened, maybe less. And yeah, so the information's still just coming through. New Orleans, the AP says the Army veteran driving a pickup truck that bore the flag of Islamic State group ISIS wrought carnage on the New Orleans raucous a New Year's celebration, killing 15 people as he steered around police blockade and slammed into revelers before being shot dead by police. The FBI said the investigation, the attack early Wednesday as a terrorist attack, does not believe that the driver acted alone. Investigators found guns that would appear to be from improvised explosive devices in the vehicle, along with other devices elsewhere in the city-famed French Quarter. So that'd be those bombs that other people seem to have planted there. Whether those people knew what they were doing or not, we'll find out. But I'm sure if you're putting a bag with explosives in it somewhere in the French Quarter, you probably know what's in that bag. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that now. The rampage turned festive Bourbon Street into a macabre mayhem of maimed victims, bloody bodies and pedestrians fleeing for safety inside nightclubs and restaurants. In addition to the dead, dozens of people were hurt. College football playoff game in the nearby Superdome was postponed until Thursday. Zion Parsons, 18, of Gulfport, Mississippi, said he saw the truck barreling through, throwing people like a movie scene, throwing people into the air, bodies all up and down the street everywhere, screaming and hollering, said Parsons, who found friend Nikira, was among the people killed. This is just an act of terrorism. This is evil, New Orleans Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick said. The driver defeated safety measures in place to protect pedestrians, Kirkpatrick said, and was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. The FBI identified the driver as Shamsud Din Jabbar, 42, a U.S. citizen from Texas, and is said as working to determine his potential associates with terrorist organizations. We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible, FBI special agent said in the charge. Athila Duncan said that at a news conference. You see the carnage there. I mean, an F-150 or whatever it was is such a large vehicle, and driving that at a high rate of speed, it's gonna injure and kill a lot of people. Investigators found multiple improvised explosive devices, including 2 pipe bombs that were concealed within coolers, there we go, and wired for remote detonation, according to Louisiana State Police Intelligence Bulletin obtained by the Associated Press. Now, if they are planning bombs as well, they obviously failed to detonate, whether he had the detonator on him and was supposed to detonate it before he was shot dead, I don't know. We'll find that out. Well, maybe we won't find anything out about this. I mean, we're still trying to find out what happened with the Trump assassination attempts. The bulletin, relying on preliminary information gathered soon thereafter the attack, said the surveillance footage showed 3 men and a woman placing one of the devices. There we are. But the federal officials did not immediately confirm the detail. It wasn't clear who they were or what connection they had to the attack, if any. Jabbar drove a rented pickup truck on the sidewalk going around police car that was positioned to block the vehicular traffic. Authorities, a barrier system meant to prevent the vehicle, was being repaired in preparation for a Super Bowl on February. Jabbar was killed by police as he exited the truck and opened fire on responding officers, Kirkpatrick said. These officers returned fire. 2 were shot but are in a stable condition. Investigators recovered a handgun and an AR-style rifle, according to law enforcement officials, who was authorized to discuss the investigation publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity. Deadly explosions also rocked Honolulu. The Honolulu one was just a firework mishap, obviously a bad one, but yeah. And Las Vegas, through alternative authorities haven't said that they related New Orleans attack. Now the Las Vegas one is actually this one here. We've got this story here from Financial Review. Las Vegas, 1 person died and 7 more were injured in Wednesday when a Tesla truck caught fire and exploded outside President-elect Donald Trump's Las Vegas hotel. Obviously, a Tesla Cybertruck blowing up out front of a Donald Trump hotel is too coincidental to be anything but a terrorist attack or, an attack. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police and Clark County Fire Department officials said that the news conference that a person died inside the vehicle and they were working to get the body out. It actually turns out, we'll show the footage here, it actually turns out that the Cybertruck was that well built, it actually could have very possibly saved people's lives by not exploding like a car would have. It held it and contained the explosion to the inside of the car, killing the occupant, obviously, and possibly saving people's lives. Now, if it was out in the front of the lobby or the foyer, and it didn't even break any of the windows, there was obviously a lot of firework type explosives in the vehicle as well. And then you can see the ensuing battery burning out and exploding as well. But a lot of people in the replies and stuff on Twitter are just saying that it was the Tesla battery exploding, and how funny is that? I don't think people quite understand how batteries work and how explosives work that well. But it's pretty obvious that that wasn't an accident. That was a terrorist attack. I mean, I don't know how dumb you've got to be. How many coincidental things could line up like that for that to be a joke. I mean, you're a bit of an idiot if you think that was coincidental. We'll just watch this video here of the footage. That's a pretty big explosion. As you can see, it exploded from the back of the truck, so the bed. The tonneau cover is down. I don't know if that tonneau cover is still aluminium or steel or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But, it's exploded that way. It hasn't broken any of these glass foyer doors. There is more footage floating around on X everywhere. Another 7 people nearby received minor injuries and were taken to a hospital for treatment. The county spokeswoman said in a statement that the fire in the valet area of the Trump National Hotel, Las Vegas, was reported at 8:40 a.m. local time. No cause was given and details were sketchy. I know you have a lot of questions. Jeremy Schwartz, acting FBI special agent in charge of the Las Vegas office, said at the news conference, "We don't have a lot of answers." Eric Trump, the son of the president-elect and executive vice president of the Trump organization, posted about the fire on social media platform X. He praised the fire department and local law enforcement for their swift response and professionalism. The 64-story hotel is just off the famed Las Vegas Strip and across the street from the fashion show Las Vegas Shopping Mall. Now, this could have gone a lot worse. I mean, you can see the devastation it caused to the vehicle and to the front of the building there, but this could have killed a lot of people if he was in a more populated area and it wasn't quite out the front. There could have been people. It could have been people pushing prams, coming to and from, and luckily no one besides the culprit seemed to have been hurt or killed in this. A few people were hurt, but they seemed, not severely, thank God. There were people pretty close by too, by the looks of that security footage. Authorities believe fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel were connected to a detonation system controlled by the driver of the Cybertruck that exploded outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas Wednesday morning, according to law enforcement official briefed on the investigation. The FBI is working to determine whether the incident was a terrorist act. Obviously it was. Just going to throw it out there. Come at me. I'm going to say it's linked to the one in Bourbon Street as well. It seems that they were both rented from the same car rental app. Could be coincidence. Maybe I don't know how popular that app is over there. It could have been coincidence, but it seems like I reckon these two things happening on the same day, that close together is, it seems like it's definitely connected. The FBI is working to determine whether the incident is an act of terrorism. Jeremy Schwartz, acting special agent of the FBI Las Vegas office, said Wednesday the agency believes an isolated incident. There is no further damage to the public. The vehicle fire was reported. Yeah, it was a vehicle fire, totally. CNN and a lot of other outlets just said it was a vehicle fire, that the vehicle just caught on fire. Just how, I don't know if you saw the story, but there was a pretty horrible story coming out of New York where a migrant from Guatemala randomly lit a homeless woman on fire on a subway station in a train car. And she subsequently burned to death while everyone looked on. And actually, the migrant was standing there fanning the flames whilst police ran around and no one offered to help the poor person. She died of her injuries. And turns out he was, previously deported, an illegal immigrant, blah, 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 all that. But, that's here or there. But CNN and all the other reports were putting out saying that basically she just spontaneously combusted. A woman died in a fire on a train station. They didn't say how. They didn't say that someone did it. So that I think it was yesterday. The same. There was another person just pushed in front of a train. He luckily survived with just minor head injuries. But two African American men just randomly jumped the turnstile, pushed this random person underneath the subway train. I don't know how the hell he survived. They've been arrested since, or at least one of them has. And it was like the violence. And we've got that Luigi murderer assassinating that businessman. America is really, they're coming into 2025 hard. And Trump's not even in office yet. And this shit's getting wild. The vehicle fire was reported to the hotel at 8:40 a.m. The crews arrived, fired a 2024 Cybertruck engulfed in flames. Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McHale said during the news conference, there's one dead person inside the Cybertruck, but the body remains as authorities continue their investigation. Mick McHale, whatever it is, said Wednesday evening. 7 victims were hurt by the explosion, all of whom are in a stable condition, Deputy Fire Chief Billy Samuel said. The vehicle was rented in Colorado and arrived in Las Vegas at 7:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, McHale said. An hour later, after driving up and down the Las Vegas Boulevard, the truck pulled into the Trump Hotel and exploded, authorities said Wednesday evening. Surveillance video shows the driver passing the Trump Hotel in Vegas about an hour before the car explodes and circling back to the end of that hour stopping in front of the hotel where the car explodes several seconds later, according to a law enforcement official briefed on the investigation. Video shared on social media appears to show the car engulfed in smoke as it was hosed down. Video shared by police during the press conference shows the charred gasoline canisters and fireworks mortars in the bed of the badly burnt truck. Police said they do know the rented truck. They do know who rented the truck, but authorities are not prepared to release the name as they work to positively identify the person in the vehicle. I'm just going to put it out there and say it's going to probably be a terrorist attack. Probably very similar to the name that was done in Bourbon Street attack. Maybe possibly even just a generic Democrat. Who knows? I don't know. But there seems to be someone lashing out against Elon and Trump at the same time. This very well could be another ISIS-inspired event, although I don't know about ISIS, but Al-Qaeda, maybe. As you've seen, there is someone that we should really be looking into. There is a Sean Ryan podcast episode with a lady, and I watched that probably just 2 weeks ago now. And she is talking, her name is Sarah Adams, an ex-CIA analyst, wrote a book on Benghazi, that whole situation over there. Very intelligent, kind of scary lady. She seems to believe there is at least 1,000 illegal immigrants that have come into this country that are terrorists, ranging from ISIS to Al-Qaeda and everything in between and around that. And they are setting up for a possibly, obviously, 2025, an entire year of, or at least a massive October 7th style event, whether it's running throughout the whole year or whether it's, just until they can get their, all of their people to do what attacks they want to do. It's at least 1,000 terrorists, and they're looking for like 60,000 casualties. They think they can estimate out to 60,000 American casualties. I will throw up the clip here on the video, but I suggest you go and watch that podcast episode with Sean Ryan show. I think it's 170 with Sarah Adams, episode 170. Quote me on that, but might even share a link in the description. But it is eye-opening to think that there is 1,000 terrorists. I mean, we've seen videos of them crossing the border, and they've just come up through the southern border, get into the United States, they disappear, and no one knows where they are. No one knows what they're doing. They're not getting tracked. At least we don't think they're getting tracked. The FBI could know where they are, and they could just be letting them do what they want. But if that is true, then it's a scary thought that there's 1,000 terrorists running around the country planning attacks. And I think America needs to be on high alert for these kind of things. I mean, and I work in the industry where we do security and things like that for events like, say, that Bourbon Street, like Christmas markets, like we saw that attack in Germany just the other day, another Muslim terrorist attack there. And we do security and control for that kind of thing. And it's scary to think that everyday people don't ever, worry about that happening to them outside those events. I mean, you can't be worried about that kind of thing all the time. But if you're ever out at an event like a Christmas market or, like that Bourbon Street kind of thing where it's just a street packed full of people and it's accessible, or especially in America, you got to keep an ear out, keep your head on a swivel for tires screeching, people screaming, gunshots, things like that. I mean, it's pretty hard in that kind of situation where everyone in Bourbon Street is obviously going to be inebriated, completely maggot drunk and having fun, and they're not going to be thinking. There could be fireworks going off. It's America. They're allowed to do things like, it's New Year's. So they're definitely going to be thinking gunshots, could be fireworks. So if you're in a space like that, keep your head on a swivel, know where your exits are, know how you got there, how you get out of there, where the closest police station or hospital is, maybe, where somewhere safe is. It's pretty sad that we got to think about those things, but the way the world is going, what's going on in the Middle East and in Europe, and things are brewing up over here in Asia, between India and China and Taiwan and China and us and things like that. It's the world is in a safe place, so you've got to kind of keep your head on a swivel anyway. The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage occurred outside the valet because they had most of the blast go up through the truck and out, Mihail said. He noted that the glass front doors of the hotel were not broken during the explosion. So that just hats off to Elon Musk and the Tesla team for making such a solid truck. They saved people's lives. There we go. I have to thank Elon Musk specifically. He added, and that Musk gave the authorities quite a bit of additional information, including directly sending the video from Tesla charging stations to help with the efforts to track the driver. See, it's like having Batman as backup for the police here. The vehicle was rented through the car rental company Turo, according to the law enforcement official briefed in the investigation. Mahale said. Now, apparently, that is the rental company that was rented for the F-150 that did the Ram attack down in New Orleans as well. Hale said it was a coincidence that the truck used to ram the crowd in New Orleans was also rented through Turo. Yeah, well, coincidence for now, but we'll see. And that authorities are investigating. CNN has reached out to the company. We're heartbroken to the violence and perpetrated in New Orleans and Las Vegas, and our prayers are with the victims and families, said the spokesperson for Turo, who added that the company is actively partnering with law enforcement. I mean, you can't really hang it on them how who they rental car to, unless they just start being racist and not letting anyone brown skin or anyone who votes Democrat to rent cars, and that ain't gonna work. We do not believe that either renter involved in the Las Vegas and New Orleans attacks had criminal background or have identified them as a security threat, the spokesperson said. We remain committed in maintaining the high standards in risk management thanks to our world-class trust and safety technologies and teams that have experienced former law enforcement professionals. Authorities have not determined any connection between the two incidents at this time. Nevada Governor Jalen Breaux wrote on X that the office is coordinating with authorities and will ensure that every necessary resource is available. In a post on X, Elon Musk wrote, Tesla is investigating the matter. We have now confirmed the explosion was caused by a very large firework and or bomb carried in the bed of the rented Cybertruck and is unrelated to the vehicle itself, Musk wrote. So I won't go on Twitter on this feed here because it will get taken down, and show you some of those videos on there because they're obviously quite graphic and violent. But as you can imagine, the driver of the F-150 that happened in New Orleans was a Texas resident, wasn't an illegal immigrant or anything like that. It makes you wonder what they are preaching at their local mosques. And I did see a story and pictures of information that the mosque where he frequented put out, saying that they are to not cooperate with FBI or social or mainstream media or anything like that. If they're asking questions, they're supposed to refer to what they've talked about and stay vigilant. So it's worrying that this dude was a homegrown terrorist more so than worrying that he was an illegal immigrant. At least an illegal immigrant coming across the border, that he's come across the border to do this attack. I mean, this guy was like a real estate agent or something along the lines of like that, and seemed to have lived in Texas for a while. He spoke English. He had very small internet footprint by the looks of it. I can't seem to find much about him, but that's even worse if you ask me, because something's radicalized him. He was in the army. He got out in 2020, so not long ago. So what kind of people are radicalizing him? Why was he radicalized? We'll probably find out. I mean, ISIS is old news now, but if you go and watch that Sean Ryan podcast with Sarah Adams, you will see that there is a massive impending attack on the US and other places, and this could just very well be the start of it. This could just be, lone wolf I don't like lone wolf thing, because he obviously didn't do it alone if 3 other people are planning these bombs, but this could be, not related to that, but I doubt it if she's so sure that this is going to happen. And there's a lot of talk of the FBI. Trump's inauguration is going to be a very scary date, which is only coming up in a couple of days, and things like that. I mean, keep your head on a swivel. If you are out in public, be careful where you go. If you're allowed to open carry, concealed carry there in the US, I wholeheartedly support that decision. I wish we could do it over here in Australia, and be careful. But what do you guys think anyway? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Al-Qaeda is basically predicting that the casualty count will be between 50 and 60,000 Americans dead. Am I wrong on that?
So I don't know the count that they're predicting. What I do know is Al Qaeda trained and sent 1,000 attackers.
So wait a minute. I just want to clarify. You are 100% certain that there are 1,000 plus Al Qaeda trained fighters within the United States borders.
Well, Al Qaeda says they trained and deployed 1,000 for this attack. First off, I think there's more than 1,000 Al Qaeda members in the United States. But for the Homeland attack, that number is based on what Al Qaeda is saying. So they could exaggerate it. However, they did have about 1,400 in the Hamas attack. So the number is not off from what they did in the first round of attacks.
Are we next or is Europe next?
I think the embassy attacks are next, in my opinion.
What are they waiting for the embassies?
I don't think they're waiting. I think it took time to train them. They've now approved them, and they've now moved into the operational stage. So we think it's going to be a swarming attack, right? Multiple different attacks at one time across multiple cities. We think there will be suicide bombers just because some of the attackers went through suicide bomber training and they have these vests, right? And then we think there's these Fideian attackers who will carry on until they're killed.
So some of these terrorist organizations are looking for very strategic stuff like U.S. Capitol, basically U.S. governmental infrastructure and in elites. And then on the other hand, you have what I'm used to seeing when we were over there. They just look for the easiest, the easiest, biggest target because they want to kill the most amount of people in the quickest amount of time and get the most press out of it.
Yep.
And so that would lead me to believe universities, churches, stadiums,
Farmers markets, those type of things.
Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.